Hey guys, just wanted to introduce a brand new platform to the channel. This is a new platform to the space, actually. Matter of fact, it's so new that it's not live yet as I make this video. Now, perhaps when you watch this video, it may be live then because I was told that it's scheduled to go live, within the next 24 hours or so. But yeah, this one has been making the rounds. I've probably had about six or seven people send this over to me. And yeah, I wanted to cover it, show you what it's about. Again, it's not going to be a fully detailed review. It's basically an intro video just to kind of put it on your radar. And once we get some passive payouts and we see how this thing operates and runs, we can do a full review then, give you our thoughts. We'll do a withdrawal, the whole 9 yards. But just wanted to kind of bring this to your attention. Again, it's not live yet as I make this video, but if you're looking for something that could potentially be another long-term play, this certainly looks like it has a lot of the boxes ticked off. It's not overly paying. It's not even the comp plan, the affiliate side of it, isn't overly paying. It's more on the, I don't want to say conservative, but it's probably, probably averaging. It's probably going to average anywhere from 12 to 14% a month, give or take, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. But again, that those sort of platforms tend to run a little bit longer. Now, again, no guarantees. Probably should have started out by saying that, but no guarantees. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Never take anything I say as financial advice. Anything that you get involved with in the crypto space or the passive income space is going to be risky. So again, do your own research and due diligence. You decide to get in, only put in what you can afford to lose. Now, of course, as I just said, this potentially can run for a long time because it's paying out quote unquote conservative numbers compared to other things that we see in the space. But anything that anything involved with trading, which this is, right, is going to carry risk, and there's no guarantees. So just be aware of that. And like I said, I'll say it again: only put in what you can afford to lose. So that being said, name of the platform is Polar Tensor. Um, I've watched a couple of Zooms on it. The I don't know if he's the CEO or the owner, but the person behind the platform, I've heard him speak a little bit. He's from Germany and seems to be a very intelligent person, knows what he's doing. And they do have a track record, so that's good to know as well. Another cool thing about this platform is you can pull your funds out of the platform anytime you want. Now, there's a 10% penalty fee, but the ability to pull 90% of your capital out whenever you feel like it, gives us a lot of flexibility on that part. What can you expect to earn passively? Well, based on their past results, they've averaged about 20 to 22% per month. Of course, the future results isn't indicative of that, but or any guarantee of that. But if we look at what they've done in the past, it's averaged anywhere from 20 to 22% per month on a passive basis. Now, there is a split depending on how much you put in. It could be a 50-50 split or I think an 80-20 split, depending on how much you put in. I'm going to show you the breakdown here in a second. So there is a split at the end of the week when you get your profits. You split it with them. So let me kind of take you through this. Now, again, they do have videos. I'll get some of those videos, but they do have videos showing how their bot works and showing a little bit of their track record. They have a trading system, right? And again, they've at least from what I've seen, they've had a pretty successful run with their trading system thus far. Here's the returns, right, over the last few months. You can see here it's averaged about 22%. So again, it varies. As you can see here, as you can see here, it's gone as high as 39.76% for the month. But it's also gone as low as 12.39. So it'll go up and down. But on average, you can see here over the last several months, it's done about 22%. Now, that's net. Like I said, there is a split. So let me see if I can find that for you here. On their Zooms, they do talk about, their trading strategy and that sort of thing. So if you're into that, you'll probably get a kick of that. I'll get a copy of one of their Zooms and post that. But here's the split right here. Now, real quick, just right off the bat, there is a 10%, there is a 10% one-time license fee. So, let's say, for example, you put in $1,000, 10% of that is 100. You're going to pay that as a fee. So you're account will be credited 900. If you put in 10,000, 1,000 will be a fee. You'll get credited 9,000, et cetera, et cetera. So when you make a deposit, 10% will be deducted right out the gate because there's a 10% one-time licensing fee. Now, ongoing after that, I believe it's on a week-to-week basis. You can see here, based on how much you put in, there is a performance fee. So if let's say you put in $100, there's a 50-50 split, right? You keep 50% and then you give them 50%. If you put in 500, there's a 40-60 split, right? You keep 40, or excuse me, so sorry about that. You pay them 40 and you keep 60, right? So the more you put in, the less the fee. So for example, let's say you put in 8,000, anything from 8,000 to 25, right? Or 24,999. Let's say you put in, for easy math, 10,000, right? That'll put you in this category. There's a 70-30 split. So you keep 70% of the passive payouts on a weekly basis. 30% you pay them back in a performance fee. So hopefully that makes sense, right? And again, as you can see here, the more you have trading, the less the performance fee. If you have $100,000 trading account, your performance fee is 20%. You keep 80%. So again, most people will fall, I guess, anywhere from, here, maybe here. Some of you guys that have a little more to play with, you put 10,000 or 20,000 in your trading account, you'll get a 30% performance fee every single week. So again, it's a 70-30 split. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, if you want to withdraw your capital, there is a 10% operational cost. That's why I said you can withdraw 90% of your capital you want. Now, after 12 months, if you want to withdraw it after 12 months, the 10% fee, operational cost fee, drops to 5%. After, it'll be free of charge. So that's kind of the passive, right? So again, we'll talk more about that moving forward. Just want to kind of, let you know how that works a little bit. If you want to build out the network, right? If you want to share this and build a team, there's a comp plan here that, and again, you can see here, it pays out many, many levels. This is based on the license rewards. Okay. So again, the license, depending on how much somebody puts in, they're going to get a 10% fee, right? A 10% deduction. That 10% is what you'll earn 20% on. Okay. So you're not going to get paid. This is not the commission percentage on the entire deposit they're putting in. You're getting this percentage off of the 10% deduction, right? So for example, if you bring me in, for easy math, I put in 10,000, 1,000, right? Again, 9,000 will get credited to my account. 1,000 will be the license fee, because that's 10% of 10,000. Out of that 1,000, you're going to get 20%, right? Which is 200. So you're not getting 20% on the 10,000 I'm putting in. You're getting it off of the license fee. Make sense? So again, the comp plan isn't, it's not overly paying out. But if you build out a team and it grows and you have many, many members, this quote unquote small amount can be a lot, right? Because a little of a lot is still a lot, right? So again, you'll get 15% on your second level, 10% on your third level. On your fourth level, you'll get 5%. On your fifth level, 4%. So forth and so on. You have to qualify to open these levels, by the way. As you can see here, there's an unlock requirement. So to open up your second level, you need to have one active referral direct. To open up your third level, you need to have 2 active direct referrals. To open up your fourth level, 3 active direct referrals. And again, I want to emphasize this is on the 10% licensing fee. All right, so here they give a couple of examples. We'll talk more about that moving forward. They also have a residual reward, and this is essentially a match, right? If you have people on your team and they're earning on a daily basis, right? Well, Monday through Friday, this pays out Monday through Friday, right? Passive payouts, you're going to earn a match, right? So you can see here, 10% match, right? On your first level, 5% match on your second level, 4% match on your third level. So in other words, if you have people on your first level, if they're earning $1,000 a day, for easy math, 10% of that is you're earning $100 a day. If they're earning $100 a day, you're earning $10 a day. So 10% of what they're earning is what you're making as a match on your first level. On your second level, 5%, on your third level, 4%, on your fourth level, 3%, all the way down to 10 levels. Now, of course, you have to unlock those levels. But you can have a match on a pretty sizable team, assuming you're building out a network, right? And I believe it gets paid out weekly, if I'm not mistaken, because again, the passive payouts are paid out weekly, Monday through Friday. The residual rewards gets paid out weekly as well. And then last but not least, there's bonuses that you can trigger, one-time bonuses based on rank. So for example, you hit the position of bronze, you have a $50, 50 USDT rank bonus. You hit the position of silver, 200. You hit the position of gold, 500, platinum, 1500, so forth and so on. Here you have diamond. That's it's a lot to get to diamond. You need 8,000 of not 8,000, 8 million of volume with only with the max being 20% coming from one leg. You need to have multiple legs. So it's not easy to get there, right? But if you do, there's a 500,000 USDT bonus. That's a one time. So they have these rank bonuses that you can trigger as well. Payment methods that you're allowed to withdraw. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, USDT. I believe that's what you could put in as well. But that's those are the four options there, right? And that's pretty much it for now. Again, it's not live just yet, but within the next 24 hours or so of me making this video, it'll go live, or at least scheduled to go live. Now, if there's a link underneath this video, then that means it went live, obviously, right? So depending on when you're seeing this may have gone live already. If it goes live, I'm going to put a link underneath this video, obviously, so that you can get started and check it out. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, this looks like potentially another long-term play. I like to have things in my portfolio that, again, we can't guarantee anything, but potentially can run for a while because those are always the best place to get into. So we'll see. So again, on average, 22%. What it's done is 22% a month, but there's a 70-30 split or 60-40 or 50-50, depending on how much you put in. Let's say for example, we pull up a calculator here. Okay. So let's say for easy math, we'll do 20%, right? That it averages per month. But let's say you put in 10K. Now again, I don't know what you're going to put in, but let's say you put in 10K. That would put you in the 70-30 split. So 70% of that is what you will keep. 30% you'll pay them back as a fee. So that's about 14%. 14% a month, right? So I'm just showing you kind of how you can look at it. Now again, you can play around with the number. Don't hold me to those numbers to a T, because again, it'll fluctuate. It's not a fixed amount. But just if we looked at it as 20% is the monthly average, and you're in the 70-30 split category, you're getting about 14% per month on the passive side. Because again, you got to remember there's a 30% fee every week. Again, if you put in more, it'll be less. If you put in less, fee will be more. So, there's a lot of numbers to play around with. That's kind of just an example. So that being said, just wanted to kind of put this on your radar. Again, this has been making the rounds. Again, I've had so many people hit me up about this. So, certainly looks like there's traction and there's, momentum, and there's, there's an interest obviously in the market. And yeah, if for us, we like to have all sorts of different types of things in our portfolio. So, something that pays out around an average of 14% a month, we can have that, and we can have that running alongside some of the other things that we're doing. So, anyway, this is Polar Tensor. Again, check the link, check below. If there's a link, there may not be a link. I don't know, but if there is a link, that means it's live. Check that out. Feel free to hit me up over on Telegram. And with that being said, I will catch you on the next one. As always, guys, do your own research, do your own due diligence, risk capital only, folks. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.